guys, welcome to Players United. Welcome to another video. And today we're going to be doing the preview for the Champions League of Barcelona against Roma. And I'm here with Octavian.
Yep, hello.
And we are going to discuss how it's going to go for Barcelona. Like, we have a tough game. We come with an away goal in the Champions League with a draw. And there's a bunch of things to discuss with the latest news. So, Octavian, how about we start with the possible lineups? Because we've seen in the press of last couple of days that they've been mentioning 3-4-3, 4-3-3, different variations. What do you think? What do you think is the team is going to go to for tomorrow's game?
So, I personally, after not being here, has completely thrown me off. I generally don't know what, especially after the 11v11 match that they've done, I'm not too sure what they could go ahead with. Something like 3-4-3 could work, but it depends on how that match went with the whole team.
Yeah, what I was like also thinking about was like Setien, the game against Valladolid. He tried the 3-5-2, and that was something that was his initial lineup for the first game that he managed against Granada, and he also tried that in the Copa del Rey game against Ibiza. So I'm initially thinking that was like, that was something that he dominated with in Betis, and not coincidentally that was the lineup that he decided to start with Barcelona for, I think, reasons outside of the in-game, outside the field. I believe that Setien was told to play 4-3-3 either by the players or by the board, and I believe that's why we've not seen much of any other variations. And I feel like him trying a back three of Longley, Piqué, and Sergio Roberto in that game was probably a really good approach, taking the ball, like being more solid in defense because you have one more man marking, but also playing out of the back because you have that third center back, in this case Sergio Roberto, playing at the back very comfortably.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game because we know Napoli is going to be so offensive this game. So offensive. They need a goal, and they're going to be waiting for the slightest mistake to happen.
Yeah, another thing.
Yeah,
because another thing was that the players, like, I think we can all agree that the best game that the team has managed was probably the win against Villarreal. And that was with the 4-3-1-2 with Messi, Griezmann, and Suarez in central areas.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how much that tactic could help us, to be honest, how effective it could be, because Villarreal play tactics so similar to us. So we managed to dominate them in possession and in all the stats really, but I don't know how effective it could be against the powerhouses, especially in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's like my concern. Like, I believe that, like, maybe offensively that's our most solid option because you have actually all the players playing in the proper positions. Messi has a 10 and the Suarez and Griezmann playing in central areas. But the problem for me with that formation is that always that we seem to play with that, we seem to be caught off the back far too easily. Like, Piqué and Longley have to sustain yards against players that they just don't have the legs for.
Yeah, the counter-attacks.
Like,
with the aging squad, like, it's so difficult for them to stop those counters. Once someone runs through, it's so difficult for Piqué and all the defenders to try and get the ball off them.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe Setien has noticed that and he's going to go with a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 variation just to have more security. If I would have to bet, he's going to play with a 3-5-2 just so they have the extra body in midfield, and probably at some point in the game go a bit, go park the bus a bit and just wait for a counter because Napoli do need that away goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. One of their counters is definitely going to happen near the end of the game. But what I wish to not happen is them to score first. That would be so drastic for us because we need that morale boost.
Yeah, I feel Barcelona scoring first would probably help, but at the same time, I feel that Barcelona does need to kill the game in the first half, because I feel that in the second half it's always been a problem for Barcelona. Like we've seen it, Roma, Liverpool. It's always been the second half that it's been the major problem.
And with Napoli, it just didn't seem like we were able to really take our shots in. We've had 2 shots on target. They doubled us on shots on target. Even though we had double their possession, it just seems like we're passing around but not doing anything with it. Well, they wait for us to counter.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's jump into the players that are gonna be playing for Barcelona in the upcoming game, and I have the squad list right here. And as for the goalkeepers, we have Ter Stegen, Neto, Iñaki Peña, and Anautenas. I think we can all agree that Ter Stegen is gonna be starting.
Yeah, 100%. We need someone as solid as him in such crucial games. Although I would want Neto to have some game time throughout the season, next season, but in the Champions League, Ter Stegen's gonna have to do the job.
Yeah, for sure. And as fullbacks, actually in defense we have Semedo, Piqué, Lenglet, Jordi Alba, Umtiti, Junior Firpo, Araujo, Dani Morer, Akieme, Jorge Cuenca, and Oscar Mingueza. Umtiti is going to be ruled out with an injury. Longley and Araujo are, they're waiting for the green light in the medically wise. Everyone else is fit, as far as I know. And I think it's going to be Semedo and Alba in the fullbacks.
Normally I would have said Sergio Roberto, but I think he would take a midfield role.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, seeing as we have 3 midfielders that are not going to be featuring, I think Sergio Roberto, he's been playing well since the break, so in midfield, so I believe that will be an option. And there's always the option of taking off Semedo and putting Sergio Roberto in the second half back to the fullback position. And at center backs, Piqué is going to be one of them for sure, and then it's going to be, hopefully Longley's going to be back. It seems like he's going to be back. He's been training regularly with the first team for a couple days. And Araujo seems like he might be able to get some minutes if need be. And
who would you want in the back? Who would you want starting?
So if we're gonna play with 4 at the back, I would say Semedo, Piqué, Longley, and Alba. And if we're gonna play with 3 at the back, I would say Piqué, Lenglet, and Frenkie de Jong.
At the back, Frenkie de Jong?
Yeah, because Frenkie de Jong, he played at Ajax at the back last season under Ten Hag in some games. Because when the other team was trying to, like he was playing as a kind of false center back, like he was playing from the back just to be able to play the ball from the back. And I believe that not having Busquets doing that, I think Frenkie de Jong could help us a lot doing that, because De Jong is not the best defensive wise, but playing out the back, he's probably his best quality, and we could really do with that.
I see that. I would personally put him in a more central but defensive mid, so he would drop back if he sees some danger happen, because I just don't fully trust him to be just in the defense at the moment, at least.
The same, but this wouldn't be for me. My idea is he wouldn't have that much of a defensive responsibility, because you would have Rakitic and Sergio Roberto doing a lot of the work. That's why I would put them in midfield. But yeah, for sure, for me it's either gonna be Sergio Roberto or De Jong to play in that 3rd center back role.
Yeah.
All right. And in midfield.
Carry on.
And in midfield we have Rakitic, Artur. Well, Artur is not going to be playing. Sergio Roberto, Frenkie de Jong, Ricky Puig, Alex Collado, Monchu, Ludovic Reis, and Jandro Orellana. Well, there's not many options because Vidal and Busquets are suspended. Artur is in Brazil because the board decided that it was a good idea to disrupt the squad mid-season with the Champions League upcoming.
Such a shame. What do you think about his decision, bro? Was it professional? Was it just? Was it right?
I don't think it was professional, of course. I think that he wasn't professional, but I completely understand his reaction.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, it's easy to say it from sitting at home all calmly, but when the club has just kicked you out of the club, like a sack of potatoes, like Rakitic called himself, I see it very hard to respect people that have been mistreating you all season long.
I agree, but I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me because he knows how crucial he is. Even though he is sold, he is under contract with Barcelona. At least I know it's been really difficult for him. I know that, and I feel for him. But when we're in the Champions League and we're so, I wouldn't necessarily say we're close, but when we need him the most, he needs to step up, at least for till the end of the season. To just go Brazil, even though he's still under contract.
Yeah.
While I do understand, it's just, it doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, with me, they're like, the ideal thing was that he finished his contract and that he kept playing, but I understand like he's not okay with the board. He could potentially get injured, and the season's going to be starting just in a few weeks, so he needs to start fighting for a spot at Juve. So I don't like it. I think the end point for all of us is that we don't like it, but we do understand where it comes from.
Yeah, such dreadful decisions by the board.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for a drastic change.
Yep.
In the 2021 presidential election.
All right. And in midfield, there's not many options. So our midfield three is going to be Rakitic for sure. Between Sergio Roberto and Frenkie de Jong in midfield, I believe that's going to be the starting midfield. Sergio Roberto, Rakitic, and de Jong. I personally would start Ricky Puig, but I don't know if his first time playing as a starter in the Champions League should be this game.
I personally think it's going to be tough for him, but I do think we really need him. We need that pace in that midfield of ours.
Yeah, I mean,
and his adrenaline is so good in the games. You'd see him everywhere across the pitch while playing. Very important.
Yeah, I believe like that his personality like wouldn't be that much of a problem because he seems to step up big games. Like we saw him against Atletico Madrid, didn't face him. He was our best player, our best midfielder at least, and probably arguably our best player during that game. So I think that the stage of the game wouldn't face him. But if he happens to make a mistake, I know what is going to be said in the press, and I'm afraid for the future of Ricky Puig. I want him to be a first-team player coming next season. So
yeah.
All right.
What about forwards?
And our forwards are, again, not many options. Luis Suarez, Messi, Griezmann, Ansu Fati, Hiro Chiave, Rey Manach, Conrad de la Fuente, and Ousmane Dembélé. Dembélé coming from an injury. Griezmann has been training regularly with the first team the past couple of days, so he has probably going to be the green light before tomorrow. And Dembélé, he's I think the main question.
What should we do with him this match? What do you think?
I think that we should have more than enough to do. Like with Napoli having to get a goal eventually at some point during the game, us having Messi, Suarez, Griezmann, and Ansu Fati, like we have, I believe, enough options going forward for this game. So my thought process would be that, like, let's not use Dembélé because I don't want to rush him back. Like worst case, I think already that winning the Champions League is going to be tough, but if we reach Dembélé and he gets injured again before the season starts, I believe that will be more detrimental going forward.
I agree. But I think the only situation, which is really unlikely, but the only situation I would use him is if we were winning by a large margin, 2 or 3 goals. Put him in the last 10 minutes, get him into that atmosphere for at least a couple of minutes. Would do good for him, but we miss that burst of speed that he used to have.
Yeah, for sure.
We need it in our team.
And Messi and Suarez pretty much are going to start. Like, I think we can all agree that Messi and Suarez are going to start. If it's going to be a forward three, it's probably going to be with Griezmann. And Ansu Fati coming from the bench, I think that would be the best decision. Catching, like, they're not going to have Manola, so catching the likes of maybe targeting Maximovic during that second half could be a good option for Ansu Fati.
Yeah, I think Ansu Fati is ready for Napoli. I generally think he is what we need, at least for one half of the game. We would really need him.
All right, and let's go to the Napoli tactical setup. So Gattuso has been playing with a 4-3-3 in his last couple of games. Napoli have been regularly consistent. They improved definitely under Gennaro Gattuso. They've been playing much better. They won the Coppa Italia. They've reached the Europa League spot. And they have the likes of, they've been playing with Ospina in net, like Koulibaly, Maximovic, Di Lorenzo, and Mario Rui in defense. Midfield three they have the options of Deme, Alan, Fabian Ruiz, Zielinski as the main options. And up top they have Callejon and Dries Mertens for sure starting. And the debate is between Insigne or Irving Lozano.
I think it's going to be so tough to get past their defence, especially Koulibaly. It's going to be so difficult to break through it.
Yeah, definitely, I would say that's true, but at the same time, I believe that there's one season where you can catch Koulibaly off his game. It's this season, because he suffered multiple injuries. He hasn't played the whole season, and I want to see how his knee is doing, because he had a knee injury early on this season. And Napoli, they've been more consistent, basically because there's been a player that arrived in January, Diego Deme, the midfielder from RB Leipzig. He's fixed their midfield. He's given them consistency. And they have a lot of muscle in that midfield as well. So the likes of Alan and Deme are going to be very tough to go through, especially if they're going to be battling Rakitic and Sergio Roberto.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to be possible. It's going to be possible to get past them. But they just need courage. Our players just need courage. We can't just keep passing back. We can't keep playing this possession without no attack.
Yeah.
And I really want Suarez to step up his game. He's just recovered, but we really need his courage of shooting.
Yeah, and that's probably the final topic of the video. We need all the players to be at 100%, not only tactically wise or physically wise, but also mentally wise. They have to be ready to give the role, to give an extra yard. It's just 4 games, 4 good games, and a bit of luck, and there's the Champions League.
Exactly. We are so lucky to be in this position. Not have a second leg after what we've been through for several years now.
Yeah, Barcelona just needs to think that this is 4 finals to play, and normally Barcelona does well in finals for the most part.
They do, but who knows with Setien? He said that about the league, didn't he? He said we need to treat every single game like a final.
Yeah, but I feel also 11. There's a difference between concentrating only for 4 games and then focusing for 11.
100%, yeah.
So, but yeah, the players say that they won the Champions League. We need the best Messi. I think that Messi hasn't been at his best, and I think that that's been a problem. Under Valverde, Messi seemed to put in everything that was coming for him. We see him cut in and put the ball in the back of net in his typical style. And with Setien, his free kick accuracy has been very underwhelming these past couple games.
Yeah, I think a really important point to put out there against Napoli is we cannot play for a draw. We cannot play for a draw against Napoli. I know we do have the better hand in this game, but we need to attack because we know they're definitely going to try. So we need to counter them as well.
Yeah. And the last thing would be probably that I believe the fan base is coming with this game with a little bit thinking that Napoli didn't finish in the top 4. They don't have the biggest names in world football, so they're thinking that this is going to be an easy ride. And I'm already expecting that this is going to be a game where Barcelona are going to have to suffer. Not because it's Napoli, but because Napoli is a tough team. Anything that they're going to be playing, it's going to be tough coming up.
Especially in these rounds, yeah.
It's a one-off game. Anything can happen.
Yeah. If let's say we do win, which I think all the fans are saying this, if they're looking at Bayern already, but I just don't think that needs to happen. We need to focus on Napoli.
Yeah, definitely.
Slacking against them. We do have to mention that Bayern will be really hard to play against if we do get there. Well, that's a topic for another video, isn't it?
Yep, definitely it is. All right.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, same.
Because I really appreciate your channel. I love everything that you're doing. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure. I hope that we can do this again for the possible Bayern Munich game. I hope so.
Yeah, let's hope if all goes well.
All right. Anyways, guys.
Last thing.
Yep.
Predictions for this game. What do you think the score will be?
I think that this is going to be a 2-1 for Barcelona.
Spot on. I definitely think that. I don't think it's going to be a goalless game for Napoli. I don't think it's going to be a goalless game for Barcelona. I think both teams are going to play their A game tomorrow. And yeah, I hope to see a win.
All right. And with that said and done, guys, did we everything? I'll be leaving Octavian's Instagram back in the description. And that's it and done. Leave me you guys all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next one. Blaugranas.